Hello and welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we are looking at Linux Mint 22.3, but we're not looking at the Cinnamon version, we are looking at the XFCE 64-bit version. And so this is the latest version of Linux Mint, and the reason I'm doing this today is when you think of Linux Mint, do you think that it is a lightweight distribution? Now, it's not the heaviest of distributions for the Cinnamon desktop, but when you run the Cinnamon desktop, it also isn't lightweight. But Linux Mint with XFCE is. It's currently running at 850 megabytes of RAM. You get all the Linux Mint theming and the ease of use with Linux Mint, but with a lighter desktop, which is great for older machines or low-powered machines, like this one I'm using today. Now, the installation, which I'll show you now, is the old Ubiquity installer, the same one that was used by the Linux Lite distribution that I reviewed previously. And it's easy to use, but it's getting a bit older. But Linux Mint, as usual, I've made it as easy as possible to install the operating system. If you want to dual boot, you can see that it makes it an option. But today I've just installed it plainly on a drive on its own. So when you boot into Linux Mint, you get this welcome screen and it guides you through the first steps. So if we click Let's Go, choose desktop colors, you can create system snapshots, you can install drivers if you've got any for, say, NVIDIA cards or for Wi-Fi drivers or anything like that. Update Manager will keep your system up to date. You've got System Settings, Software Manager for installing software, and then you've got the Firewall to protect your system. Then you've got Documentation, Help and Contribute. So we don't want to show this at startup, so we can uncheck that and we can close. And you can see the desktop looks very familiar to if you've ever used Linux Mint before. And even if you're a Windows user, this looks like a standard Windows 7 style desktop environment or Windows 10. Basically, you've got System Tray in the bottom right corner, and in the bottom left corner you've got some quick launch icons and the menu. So if we click on the menu, you can see it's not the same as the one you get for Cinnamon, but it's still easy to navigate. You can go through each of the categories here and you'll see what software is available, or you can just search for something. So you can either search for Firefox if you want Firefox, but if you just want the web browser, you can search web browser and it will find that as well. So let's look at the hardware first. So down here you can see we've got wired connection, but if we click here, you've got the wireless connections and it's easy to connect to those. We'll now do Bluetooth.
Bluetooth mode.
Click here and we'll just click search.
Connecting.
And you can see that connected okay. The other piece of hardware I always set up is a printer. So if I go here and click printer, you can see my printer is already set up for me without me having to do anything. So it doesn't matter which desktop environment you use with Linux Mint, they all do the hardware setup perfectly for you. When it comes to applications installed by default, if we go through here, accessories, standard things that you get like calculator, calendar, image viewer, menu editor, screenshot tool, text editor, etc. And you've got the Tuner file manager, which is a decent file manager for your system for navigating your folders. So in there you can see the videos, images that I've created, etc. Under graphics you have picks for organising your images, so that's like a photo manager, document scanning and the drawing utility as well. And then under internet you've got the Firefox web browser, you've got Matrix for online chat, Thunderbird email client, and you've got this thing called web apps, which we'll come to later, and you've got a BitTorrent client as well called Transmission. Under multimedia, you've got Celluloid for watching videos, Hypnotics for watching TV, we'll come back to that later. You've got Rhythm Box for listening to music. I installed Simple Screen Recorder for recording this video. And the good thing about using Linux Mint XFCE is that it's using X11, it's not using Wayland. Now, it's up to you whether you still think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at the moment they're still using X11 and it is quite slick still. Under Office, you've got the LibreOffice suite. For installing other software, we've got a software manager. If I just type soft, you can see software manager comes up. Now the first time you load this, it isn't the slickest. but subsequent loads it loads a bit faster. It just has to build a cache up the first time you run it. But whilst we're talking about speed, boot time is actually reasonably quick, a lot quicker than Linux Lite that I reviewed previously, and comparable with OpenSUSE, I'd say. Now, it's worth saying that you've got Flatpaks available by default. So if we go up here and go into preferences, it doesn't show unverified Flatpaks, just Flatpaks that are verified. If you want unverified as well, so you want all Flatpaks, it's up to you whether you choose these or not. Obviously there's more risk, but you turn this on here. But if you want Spotify, you can see you've got featured applications here. So Spotify, you can just click here, and it's available as a system package. It's also available as a Flatpak package. So system packages are native Debian packages. Flatpak packages are containerized, which means they run in their own container and have all the dependencies with them. It's up to you which way you prefer. The benefits of a system package are they're usually smaller because they share libraries with other applications. But the downside of that, of course, is if a library gets corrupted or a library is missing, then the application won't work properly. A containerized package contains everything that you need to run that application, which takes up more space if you have lots of applications with the same library in different containers, but it's more likely to work. So that's the deal there. So you can install Spotify. Let's try this system package. You have to type in your password. So once it's installed, you can just click launch from here, or you can go down into your menu and type Spotify. And if you want to, you can then pin that to your panel like that. And you can also add it to your favorites. Now let's put it down here, but you can right click and move it over to here like that if you want to. So it's also now in my favorites, so you can see it's there, and you can log in, and once you're in, you can see that you can play Spotify tracks. I'm not going to do that because it will break copyright rules, so we'll close that. With the software manager, there's loads of things available. If you want Steam, if you want a different web browser, Chrome. If you want VS Code, if you're a developer, everything's there that you need. Now, if we go into LibreOffice, you can see it hasn't got all the fonts that you need, such as Arial, Verdana, all those sort of ones. So we're going to go back into the software manager again. I actually recommend pinning this one. If you search for font, you'll see there's this package called TTF MS Core Fonts. So we're going to install that. I'm just going to click install, click continue. Ask if you want to accept the license, click next. That's that done. And we will go into LibreOffice again. And you can see you've got all the fonts that you need. Let's look at some of these other apps that are installed. So running websites as if they were apps. If we click here, you see you've got Firefox there, but if we add this one and we type YouTube, like that, and ask which web browser. I'm going to stick to Firefox, and then you click OK, and you can launch it like this, and you can see YouTube loads as if it's an application on your desktop rather than being just a web browser. Now also when I click here and type YouTube, you'll see that it comes up as an app. So if you want it, you can add that to your panel as well. So now you've got YouTube as a panel item. If we go here again, under multimedia, we've got hypnotics, which is watch TV. So we'll click on that to see what it does. And you can see you've got all these TV channels and movies. So if we click on movies, we'll click on English. It says the content's not available in your region. So if I click here, it's not overly useful. It's an interesting concept for an app, but it's not the sort of thing I would use, I don't think. I mean, if I'm watching TV, I'll go and turn on the television. If you go into the actual TV thing, you can see you've got all these channels from around the world. So I'm in the UK, I can watch normal telly, although it doesn't appear to be loading very well at all. So we'll give that one a miss. Now let's look at customization of Linux Mint. You've got the standard Linux Mint desktop background. If we go to here, click on desktop settings, these are the wallpapers you get available with Linux Mint. Now that's rather dull, so you can add in your own images. If we go down here, choose other, go to pictures, go to wallpapers, choose this one, like this. And there is me as Doc Brown from Back to the Future, which I think you'll find is a much more interesting image, hopefully. Now, theming. We go to appearance. These are the themes that you've got with XFCE within Linux Mint. You can, of course, add your own ones in. It doesn't mean going to the web though. And we can pick any one of these sort of themes here. You're actually better going for the GTK themes, I think. Let's go for this material colours one. So if we now click on that, you can see the theme changes to a darker cherry light colour. But you can choose any one of these. That one's quite a nice one. So Linux Mint XFCE is got all the goodness of the normal standard Linux Mint with the Cinnamon desktop, but with the lightweight XFCE desktop, which is highly customizable. It's got lots of widgets in the XFCE desktop environment. Everything works, hardware works, software works. The only issue probably had was that Hypnotics software about the watching TV. I don't think that's a deal breaker. I would probably uninstall that software. The web apps is a good idea. And the question has to be asked, with Linux Mint providing such a good quality distro like this, what does this mean for distros like Linux Lite? Because this is actually, as far as I can tell, superior to Linux Lite with the XFCE desktop. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.